from downstairs. By God, it's Mooney FGC with a bag of hammers. All right, Mangocopter has got the what's it? The run back, the opportunity for the run back here against Quiznos Cookie, and a chance at revenge, perhaps. But anyway, yeah, it's, you know, if you do, I'm gonna, you know, hit you with something you have to block, hit you with something you have to block, and now, even very good players, the overwhelming majority of the time, you're going to wake up blocking. You know, you're going to think they did it twice, they'll do it a third time. It is, I can tell you from my experience playing Rook in Fantasy Strike, which, yeah, it is a simpler game, but this principle still holds. You do it twice, they're going to think that you're going to do it a third time. Unless you are, unless either, like, they play with you a lot, or you're deep in a set. Now, I'm sure, you know, fucking, like, top-level pros probably, you know, if you try to hit Sonic Fox with that shit, you know, they'll probably be able to adapt to it, but, you know, at your local, even against, like, the people who are, you know, in this case, third of the local, it's gonna work. The majority of the time, it works a lot. It works very often, let alone on tower. My God. It never doesn't work on tower. Tower players don't adapt. They don't know how. They don't know what that word means. They just throw rock. But anyway. Mangocopter does take the first round. Obviously has something going here. Is able to take the first round. Is able to hammer fall there out of the Jealous Rage pressure. But you can't stay out of Jealous Rage pressure for long unless the Jealous Rage is gone. And the Kool-Aid's still in the cupboard. Able to swap out here. And you see what I mean by the... Do you see what I mean by the couponing? We've got complimentary Kool-Aid. Alright. I don't know if Quiznos Cookie, if she knows, like, the person who owns the grocery store. I don't know if she has dirt on the Kool-Aid man, but we have lifetime supply of free Kool-Aid in this house. It is no charge, complimentary Kool-Aid all the way down. I am telling you. I am telling you. Quiznos Cookie leaves the grocery store, they pay her to take Kool-Aid. She leaves with $10 more than she went in with, and like a winter's worth of Kool-Aid. Like you're a medieval peasant stocking up on salted pork. Complimentary Kool-Aid would be a great tag. That's fair. That's valid. Yeah, that'll count. I gotta stop. No, I gotta stop touching the wire here because I'm getting, like, feedback. It's not great to be doing that. It's not great to be having that happen. No, it's not, you know, like what you want. It is a thing that can happen, but it's not what you want. What? Trying to parry the slide head. I get it. I understand. Because it could come out at any time. You know? You gotta try to parry the slide head. It's a constant threat. Particularly when you're slow, like normal mode A.B.A, and you can't necessarily, you know, the whole point is that it's hard for you to find those breakpoints to get that that Kool-Aid. You know, no slide head. No. You know, it's the vibes. Good throw attack there. No, good throw attack. Safe jump into the throw attack, but it's, you know, it's... A.B.A still gets, you know, ample further opportunities, obviously, to get some pressure that pays off a little bit harder. And Quiznos Cookie there is able to do it. Now maintaining these blocks against Potemkin. Forced to burst out of the pressure there to try to get something going. Mangocopter's calling you out. He says, "I know what you want." So yeah, you're gonna try, because if that, you know, it's almost what you need to do there, right? If you're A.B.A, that reversal would get you a lot, because you're not in Jealous Rage. It would get you a lot of Jealous Rage. It would do a lot of damage. Might get you a hard knockdown. It gets you into Jealous Rage. you know, it pays your taxes. It really is, you need that kind of reward, right? So it makes sense to go into the block there. And game 2 is gonna go to Mangocopter. Mangocopter. Hello, Nigmas. How you doing? Well, and this time the parry on the slide head works. You know, he's not fast enough to punish you at like mid screen or full screen. Just there, you know, I'm doing fine. You know what? That's fair. Hey, something could have changed. You never know. You know, I'm just trying to be polite. I'm doing my best out here. All right, we do have a full jar of Kool-Aid. We have a full glass of Kool-Aid. And immediately the YRC gets A.B.A back out, but it's gonna have to be a lot of correct defensive decisions from Mangocopter here if he wants to get that whole jar of Kool-Aid down the drain. And he's just about able to do it, but the couponing, again, the couponing. Shift out, back in. And we get just enough to make the pressure deliver. And that was good defense by Mangocopter too. It was a veritable masterclass in blocking, you know, blocking when you need to, barring, you know, when you can, making very principled defensive decisions, just not giving them, you know, not giving them a good hit, not giving them a knockdown, and you know, Quiznos Cookie is like, you don't understand how deep I can make this glass of Kool-Aid. You do not comprehend how much Kool-Aid powder I have in the pantry. There's more where that came from. He's like, but it's gone. She's like, no. It's not. It's back now. It's returned. We backdash. We bait the burst. The Kool-Aid has returned. Yeah. And it's kind of pulling, what, triple duty? Because you got Pup-Buster. It's a good starter. It does a lot of damage. It's a good starter if you have a meter to RC with. It does a lot of damage. It has armor. And now, it also, you know, it's got a relatively long animation. It's pretty good at making the rage gauge go away. It's pretty good at saying that the rage gauge is not there and I cannot see it. Should bring the Kool-Aid next week. I have it. Yo, Ichi, what's up? Welcome to chat. Welcome to chat. Congrats again on winning Streets this week, by the way. Should bring the Kool-Aid next week, TBH. Maybe that's gonna have to be the thing. Wait, it's Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid. This is what it is. Hey, yo, let's go. Yo. Alright, that backdash is a little bit of a strong option in this game. Backdash is a little bit of a useful defensive option in this game. Were you aware of this? Did you know this? Now, Mangocopter does have a life lead and is about to bleed out those resources. So A.B.A is now on minimum rage gauge to be able to go into rage. No longer none, but minimum to be able to go into it. Does not have $50, does not have burst, once again has no Kool-Aid, now has $50. But honestly, I care a little bit more about the no Kool-Aid. You can get one mix-up with $50. You can get like 5 with enough Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? You can get more. You get a lot. You didn't see Grants. It's like a home. That's fair. That's valid. That's mid. We got grand finals going on here. Mangocopter's trying to reset the bracket against Quiznos Cookie herself. She's building up a pretty decent stick of butter, which will be mystically transmogrified into Kool-Aid once she becomes angry, if she becomes angry. But that's going to be enough damage to kill on account of the combo that comes after the Pot-Buster, and we're going to go into game 5. I didn't almost say 4. I wouldn't almost say 4, because that was game 4. Because 2 plus 2, you're going to want to sit down, okay? 2 plus 2, it's 4. Which means this is game 5. And therefore, since this is how brackets work, that means that if Mangocopter wins this game, we reset the bracket. We reset the bracket. He's close. Yeah, he's certainly on the right path. It just looks. I feel like a pot hammer falling forward on Oki like that looks so much sillier than it used to because of the way the momentum on it works now. And yeah, the flick. frame trapping into the flick there just to get the chip damage, not literal chip damage, but stray hit to finish A.B.A off there. And now Mangocopter taking a lead here in this, you know, maybe the last round of the pre-reset timeline, trying to push forward the bracket reset. And Quiznos Cookie not able to shift out of Jealous Rage, going to run all the way out of it. R-Siege to keep her pressure going, and is able to get back in, but at this point she's kind of stapling together scraps of Jealous Rage, and it's not reaching that critical mass of snowballing, you know, steamrolling pressure that A.B.A really wants to get. Now we do get the reversal super, but again it's little bits, you know. It's little bits. We're living paycheck to paycheck right now. You know, we do not have savings, and that's going to be the bracket reset. Mangocopter just not allowing Quiznos Cookie to build up the savings necessary to make the coupons. So maybe they're more like tax credits. Work. You know, you got to get a certain level of income as A.B.A, a certain level of Kool-Aid, to be able to use your shifting out before Jealous Rage runs out all the way, right? To be able to get the momentum you need to be able to pick optimal times to shift out of Jealous Rage to make it refill itself. Much like how in real life you have to be already at a certain level of income in order to use tax credits to be able to afford things, because you have to be able to afford it up front. And then have the tax credit make it, you know, affordable without too much economic burden. Whereas if you don't have enough income, you know, no amount of tax credit's going to mean that you're making enough money to buy a house. It just means that you can live comfortably after you do it if you're already making enough money to theoretically do it. So that's technically some poli-sci knowledge for you. Tax credits benefit the wealthy and middle classes of a society more than they do the lower classes. The lower, like, the working class. We do cancel the Garuda. We do cancel the Garuda in this household. Nope, because A.B.A is going on a trip on her favorite rocket ship. Actually, she doesn't die. Actually, never mind. It's not dead. Because A.B.A is going to recuse herself now. Goodbye. Why is that gotta do damage, man? Why? It's the Super Mario Brothers butt slam is simply too powerful to contest. We do have a full jar of Kool-Aid. Hold on, we have a full glass of Kool-Aid. We bait out the deflect shield, and now we can pick and choose when we want to do our couponing to make the most of the. It makes the Jealous Rage you already have more efficient, and it's easier to do when you have more of it, allowing you to create a snowball effect like that. We're just sort of poking and prodding at each other. Everybody gets counter hit in this house. Oprah handing out counterfeits in the grand finals currently. But it is Quiznos Cookie who managed to get the offense here by going into Jealous Rage. Cranks up a bunch of risk, but it's going to be forced to go out of Jealous Rage here in order to coupon. And is now back into normal mode, once again struggling against Potemkin here, but down a big chunk of life. Key grabs into a decent offensive sequence here. And Mangocopter is somehow content to just sit back and block Jealous Rage A.B.A, and it's working. Yeah, the freeze frame does kind of mean that you can't pop buster there. I mean, you know, technically if it were fast enough, but it was just late enough that you could tell it was happening. Still have time to jump. Attack seals, yes, sealed. Okay. Attack seals, yes, sealed. Okay. I'm back, I promise. Game number 1 goes to Mangocopter, and Mangocopter is, you know, looking to make the climb here. Quiznos Cookie finally able to open up that staunch defensive line that Mangocopter has been holding. And now her cup runneth over a little bit with openings as well, and that, I mean, that Kool-Aid's just not going anywhere. It's just not going anywhere. It's a frame trap. Tries a backdash out of pressure. We get the Kool-Aid out of the cupboard. Our son's friends are over. We break out the Kool-Aid. They have drank the Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid's gone now. They drank it all up. We break out some more Kool-Aid, but once again, we're operating on little packets now. We don't want that. We want the big pitcher of Kool-Aid, not the little packets of Kool-Aid. But the sheer threat that Potemkin is able to pose when you're not in Jealous Rage, it can kind of force your hand a little bit here. And without that ability to get the big, the big sequences, A.B.A, is gonna really struggle. Yep, running out of Jealous Rage there means that the combo is going to end a little bit prematurely. But Quiznos Cookie deals with the sort of forced reset better than Mangocopter does. And we're one burst bait away from finishing out the game here. The burst bait is successful, and game 2 is going to go to Quiznos Cookie. On to game number 3, bracket reset. Both players taking advantage of their big buttons. Quiznos Cookie making sure she's ready to deal with the slide head. Even getting knocked down there, for getting into Jealous Rage with so much rage in the gauge. Rage in the gauge. Sounds like a WWE event. It's unironically like a beneficial exchange for A.B.A. And with the wall break, Quiznos Cookie has the time to shift out of Jealous Rage and get the big Jealous Rage building super. And give herself a whole bunch more momentum to work with. And that's going to be dead. Is Cookie able to take round 1? Whoop. And throwing out those parries. Absolutely peppering out those parries, knowing that, Potemkin, I can't believe I'm saying this of a traditional grappler, but really wants to press buttons. To be fair, it isn't the A.B.A matchup. So, against like Bridget, Potemkin does not really want to press buttons, but against normal mode A.B.A, everybody really wants to press buttons, even Potemkin. So knowing that, Potemkin really wants to press buttons, knowing that slide head can come out pretty quickly and hit from anywhere on the screen, just trying to create those interactions where you get the Jealous Rage. And Mangocopter is eventually able to get all that Jealous Rage out of the meter and take round number 2, tying up the round count for game 3. And we see almost an immediate Jealous Rage out of Quiznos Cookie, trying to secure herself the advantage in this round right away. Gets a little bit off of it, gets the burst out. That's really the big, the kin in Potemkin is no longer covered by health bar, but really it's the absolute loss of burst there. And Quiznos Cookie eventually finds her way back in. Now there's no burst on the table. No time to shift out of Jealous Rage, with how slow normal mode A.B.A is, no time to shift out of Jealous Rage and get a normal mode reversal super, but still enough time to get the hard knockdown. And I mean, there is a life lead, but there is also Potemkin damage, right? So it's still, even at this point, the question really is going to become the rage gauge, and Quiznos Cookie's able to build it. It's not a checkmate, but it's a check situation, and the block on that YRC is checkmate. Game number 3 is going to go to Quiznos Cookie. Yeah, it's not a checkmate to build up the gauge, but it's check. Your king is under threat. It's possible for him to get out of it, but you don't want your king to be under threat. You don't want to be forced to move your king in chess, because you're not doing anything productive then. Instead of the gameplay button, Cookie jump scare. Listen, you gotta keep chat on their toes, okay? You got to keep when Quiznos Cookie and Mangocopter go back over this VOD. They got to be, you know, you got to make sure they're paying attention. And eventually, yep, even if you block, you know, if you're able to put forward that kind of pressure on A.B.A in normal mode, you know, even if they block, you're building up the rage gauge. And now it's just a question of if she's able to spend it effectively, but she's not, and the Garuda is going to carry us into the corner. No Hammerfall though. No ability to get the charge for Hammerfall there. Gives some life in this round to Quiznos Cookie, and we simply unlock the rage gauge. We simply unlock the pantry, we get the Kool-Aid out, and that should still, yep, it forces the burst out, because otherwise it would wall splat. Would not have quite built up the meter to super wall break, but still key grab wall break out of that wouldn't have been pleasant. Sometimes it's the simple things. Sometimes you know, triple overhead this, overhead into low into overhead, into shimmy into overhead. Sometimes it's just, you know, throw. Sometimes it's the simple things in life, you know? You gotta get back to your roots, back to the basics every once in a while. What's to watch round start anyway? Hey, round start is the most important part of the round, I decided. During the entire round. That'd be based, honestly. That'd be pretty good. It'd be pretty good. Yep, that is Jack World does in fact make expressive faces during gameplay. Some reaction image worthy faces. But when we're talking about Jack World, Quiznos Cookie just won. Has taken the grand finals reset and therefore won the bracket at exactly midnight.